Hello everyone, it's me Samuel Taylor Ackroyd and welcome to this trip report. In this trip report, I will be flying with Britain's flag carrier, British Airways, from their main base, London Heathrow Airport, to Luxembourg, on board one of their Airbus A319s. We just arrived at Heathrow's Terminal 3 on the Piccadilly line, which is the tube line that goes to all of Heathrow's terminals, which is definitely a cost-effective way of getting to Heathrow rather than travelling on the Heathrow Express from London's Paddington station. It's also very convenient if you're getting a train into King's Cross or St Pancras station, as the Piccadilly line takes you straight from King's Cross and St Pancras stations to Heathrow Airport. It only costs just over £5 one way between the two train stations and Heathrow. You pay for the journey simply by tapping a bank card or Oyster card at the barriers at your starting point. Then you do the same thing at your final destination. The journey takes approximately 1 hour. Once at Heathrow's Terminal 3, we were able to walk right past the British Airways check-in desks as we had mobile boarding passes and hand luggage only, so we headed straight upstairs to security, which took roughly 20 minutes to clear. Right after security is a currency exchange and the duty-free store, which we just passed through without buying anything and headed straight into the departure lounge. The departure lounge in Terminal 3 has an excellent variety of shops and restaurants available, and there is also quite a lot of lounges for passengers with higher status with various airlines and airline alliances, which unfortunately I am not able to access as I'm not exactly a frequent flyer or a business class passenger. Once we were in the departure lounge, we headed to the Spuntino restaurant, where I decided to have a British classic for lunch, fish and chips. This is definitely a restaurant I would recommend trying if you're travelling from Heathrow's Terminal 3, as the food is delicious, the staff are very friendly, and the food is brought out to you at a very decent pace. After we paid for our lunch, I decided to do a bit of exploring around Terminal 3 to find some decent views of aircraft parked up, and luckily for us AvGeeks, Heathrow's Terminal 3 has us covered, with some awesome views of mostly wide-body aircraft operating out of Terminal 3. After a few hours of terminal spotting and appreciating the views you get at Heathrow's Terminal 3, we made our way over to Gate 29, where we would board our flight to Luxembourg from. The aircraft we would be flying on for the evening flight to Luxembourg is this Airbus A319-100, registered as Golf-Delta Bravo Charlie Alpha. This Airbus A319 performed its first flight on the 1st of December 2003 and was originally delivered on the 23rd of February 2004 to the old BMI British Midland, which ceased operations on the 27th of October 2012 when they merged with British Airways. It was then delivered to British Airways on the 10th of November 2012 and has flown with British Airlines with the same registration since then. After sitting for a short period of time in the seating area at Gate 29, it was time for us to start boarding the aircraft. The boarding process was done very quickly and we were called up by zone number. The first few rows of seats is a small business class cabin, which British Airways calls Club World, which are the same as the normal economy seats, just with the middle ones blocked off. But you do get lounge access and a meal on board the flight to go with that, if it's a meal time during the day that is. My seat today would be in the economy class cabin, which British Airways calls World Traveller, and is seat 22 Alpha. We started our pushback roughly 15 minutes later than planned. Now enjoy these views of the aircraft we would be taxiing past during our taxi to runway 09 right, and enjoy the stunning views as we climb over central London towards Luxembourg.
Carefully, as they may fall out and injure someone. In the case of evacuation, you must move quickly to the closest usable exit, taking nothing with you. Ensure that your seat is
Sitting on the left side of the plane on this flight definitely turned out to be a good choice. The views over London were spectacular. Shortly after takeoff, the crew came around with a complimentary service, which consisted of a small packet of sour cream and chive pretzels and a small bottle of water. Not much and nothing special, but it's still nice to have that complimentary service, and it's always important to drink plenty of water on a plane. The legroom on BA's A319s is adequate enough for a short flight like this one. For reference, I am roughly 6 foot tall. The seat back pocket contained a sick bag, safety card, and BA's High Life cafe menu. The tray table is a very good size and is extendable for smaller passengers. It also has an indent for a drink. These seats do have a recline button on the armrests, but I didn't bother trying it out to see if it was any good, as it's just a short flight. There is also a coat hook at the top of the seat. Here is a look at the safety card. The High Life Cafe menu is honestly quite underwhelming, with only a few things from each category on offer, such as soft drinks, alcoholic drinks, snacks, and sandwiches. But for short flights like this, I don't think anyone can complain. At least BA do have a few things on offer to eat and drink, but the selection isn't quite as good as some low-cost carriers like Ryanair and EasyJet. Since we were in the air for only about 50 minutes, it wasn't too long before we started descending towards Luxembourg. There was certainly some nice views of some of the European cities lit up in the night down below us, which added to an already nice experience with BA. So I'll be quiet for a bit and let you also enjoy them. We landed onto runway 06 at Luxembourg Fendel Airport at just after 8 o'clock in the evening, and it was just a short taxi to the gate. This was definitely a great flight with British Airways, and their A319s are definitely great to fly on throughout Europe because of their comfortable seats and friendly crew. Even though the complimentary service was very small, it was still a nice thing to have. Now, in terms of the High Life menu, it has an okay selection of things on offer, but it's rather limited. However, at least the menu is there, and for a short flight lasting less than an hour, I can't complain. Once the aircraft parked up and everyone else disembarked, the crew were kind enough to allow me to visit the flight deck and chat to the pilots.
So are you travelling because you like flying, or?
Thanks a lot, British Airways, for this nice flight, and thank you for coming along on this journey. Stay safe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.